Has your dog ever slid their bottom across your freshly vacuumed carpet while you had guests over? Maybe you've noticed them licking or biting at their rear end obsessively, or perhaps there's been a strange, fishy smell coming from them that no amount of bathing seems to fix. If any of that sounds familiar, your dog might be dealing with anal gland problems, and before you panic or rush to the vet to have them manually expressed, I want to share something that could completely change how you handle this issue. Because there are simple, natural home remedies that can actually help your dog's body solve this problem on its own, the way nature always intended. Let's start with the basics, because understanding what's actually happening inside your dog's body is the first step to fixing it. Every dog has two small glands, one on either side of their bottom, just inside the anal opening. These little glands produce a strong-smelling fluid, and their whole purpose in life is to be emptied each time your dog has a bowel movement. That pressure from a firm, healthy stool passing through is what naturally squeezes those glands and releases the fluid. In a healthy dog with a healthy diet, this happens automatically, every single time, without you ever needing to think about it. The dog handles it completely on their own, but here's where things go wrong for so many dogs today. When a dog's diet is too high in grains and sugars, and too low in quality meat and bone content, the digestive system doesn't produce the kind of stool that can do this job properly. The stool becomes too soft, too low in volume, or both. And when that happens, there simply isn't enough pressure to squeeze those glands during defecation. The fluid builds up. The glands become full, uncomfortable, and eventually blocked. That's when you start seeing all those classic signs, the scooting, the licking, the biting at the rear, and that unmistakable fishy odor that tells you something is definitely not right back there. So the real question isn't just how to relieve the immediate discomfort. The real question is, how do we help the body do what it was already designed to do? And the answer lies almost entirely in stool consistency. Now, one of the most well-known and time-tested natural remedies for this is something you probably already have in your kitchen: cooked pumpkin. Plain, cooked pumpkin, not the sweetened pie filling, is incredibly high in dietary fiber. And fiber is the magic ingredient here. When your dog eats pumpkin regularly, it increases the bulk and firmness of their stool in a very significant way. A firmer, larger stool creates exactly the kind of consistent pressure against those glands that gets the job done during each bowel movement. Many dog owners have reported seeing a dramatic improvement just from adding a tablespoon or two of cooked pumpkin to their dog's meals each day, depending on the size of the dog. It's gentle, it's natural, it's inexpensive, and most dogs actually enjoy eating it. Another powerful tool is something called Psyllium Husk. You may have heard of it as a human fiber supplement, but it works beautifully for dogs too. Psyllium Husk has this remarkable ability to absorb water in the gut and form a thick, gel-like mass as it moves through the digestive tract. This gel adds volume and structure to the stool in a way that's very similar to what pumpkin does, but through a slightly different mechanism. The two can actually work very well together. The most important thing to remember with Psyllium Husk is that you must always give it with plenty of fresh water. Because it absorbs liquid so effectively, giving it without adequate water could actually have the opposite effect and cause constipation, which is the last thing we want. Start with a small amount, make sure your dog drinks well, and monitor how their digestion responds over the following days. Now, alongside these dietary approaches, there's also a soothing physical remedy worth knowing about. A warm compress applied gently to the area around the glands can do a couple of helpful things. The warmth relaxes the muscles in that region, which can make it easier for the glands to release their contents. And if the secretions inside have become thick or thickened over time, the warmth can help to gently liquefy them, making them flow more easily. To do this, simply soak a clean cloth in warm water, wring it out so it's moist but not dripping, and hold it gently against your dog's rear for a few minutes before taking them out for a walk. The combination of the warm compress followed by physical movement and a good bowel movement outside can be surprisingly effective. Now I have to stop here and talk about something really important, because this is where a lot of well-meaning dog owners actually make the problem worse without realizing it. Many people, when they find out their dog has full anal glands, immediately want to manually express them. Either at home or by asking a groomer to do it regularly. And I completely understand the impulse, you want to help your dog feel better right away. But here's the thing. Manual expression, especially done routinely and repeatedly, can actually train those glands to produce more fluid over time, not less. The glands respond to being squeezed by becoming more active. So instead of solving the underlying issue, you can end up in a cycle where the glands need to be expressed more and more frequently. On top of that, if it's not done correctly, it can be painful and even cause irritation or injury to the tissue. The goal should always be to help the glands empty naturally, on their own, through proper stool consistency, not to bypass the natural process entirely. That said, and this is equally important, home remedies have their limits. If your dog is showing signs of real pain, If the area looks swollen or red or inflamed, if there's any discharge that looks unusual, or if your dog's discomfort is severe and doesn't improve within a few days of trying these approaches, please don't delay in getting them to a veterinarian. A blocked or infected anal gland can develop into an abscess, which is genuinely painful and requires professional treatment. Home remedies are wonderful for prevention and for mild cases, but they are not a substitute for veterinary care when the situation has progressed beyond that point. So to bring it all together, the secret to helping your dog with anal gland issues naturally is really about working with their body instead of against it. Feed them a diet that's rich in quality protein and lower in unnecessary fillers. Boost their fiber intake with cooked pumpkin and, if needed, a small amount of psyllium husk served with plenty of water. Use a warm compress before walks to support natural release. And resist the urge to intervene manually unless a veterinarian specifically recommends it. These are old, simple, proven approaches, the kind of remedies that have been quietly working for generations of dogs long before anal gland expression became a routine part of every grooming appointment. And for many dogs, these changes alone are enough to make the problem disappear entirely. If you found this helpful, share it with a fellow dog owner who might be dealing with the same thing. And as always, keep giving your dog the love and attention they deserve. They count on you more than you know.